part of Nigeria now, Abuja precisely, is a standard that landlord can just wake up one morning, discuss with agent, put price as so rate. That's why I say greed comes in.
3 months to stay in the house. You find that there is issues in that house. What will you do after paying 2 years upfront?
Is it ethical to collect 2 years rent upfront in this struggling economy?
If you are looking at it two way, is somehow. It's dependent on the tenant, it's dependent on the landlord. For some tenants, they feel okay, let me just pay 2 years upfront. Like me, if I have the money and I see that the economy is like this, what if in the next 2 years the price increase more than the amount I would have paid last 2 years?
I personally feel like if I can afford it, if I can afford to pay for the 2 years, I'll pay for it, like to save myself the stress. But then again, I want to pay 1 year so I can test run the house. Yes, because the house you might pay, like agents will take you to a house and then you see that okay, the house is all nice, all cozy, and then when you move in, you start having light issues, water issues. So paying 1 year will just put me on a safer path. Like okay, let me just test run this house. If this house is where I would want to stay, like renew the rent like the next year, then next year I can actually pay like 2 years upfront. And now would never now would get boyfriend. I ain't go plan. I ain't go plan marriage. Like I'm speaking from like a single woman perspective now.
I'm not married, I'm single, but my own point of view, right? I'm going to like pay if I have the money for real because it saves a lot. Let's say the truth, it saves a lot. Just have money in this life. So I have a friend here. He paid for 2 years rent upfront. He paid, so he doesn't have problem with rent as of now. Get what you look at now, what you look into now, it's to just get his groceries, his furnitures. He doesn't think about rent.
What if, let's just say, okay, at this point now, you have 1 year rent, and then the house you see, it's nice, it's beautiful, and then the landlord now says, no, I'm not collecting 1 year, I'm collecting 2 years, if it's not 2 years. Because I know somebody who wants to pay for rent, and they said, I'm not collecting 1 year, I'm collecting 2 years. If you don't have the 2 years, don't rent my house. What will you do at that point?
For most landlords that don't have any other source of income aside that, so those are one of their triggers to say, okay, for business purpose, let me just make it 2 years, so that they don't know, they think they are doing business, but they might actually be losing, because when you increase it 2 years, in the next year, when you are supposed to collect, maybe looking at the market, the rental market system, when you are supposed to increase your rent, you cannot do it again because you've already collected for 2 years. So it's like a loss.
After paying 1 year, then you started staying in the house like 3 months. 3 months into staying into the house. 3 months to stay in the house. You find that there is issues in that house. What will you do after paying 2 years upfront? And most of these Abuja landlord will not refund.
The friend of mine, after paying 2 years, it was just like few months into the house, he discovered that there is no light. Even the even the light was not full current, so it was not really carrying the fridge, the freezer, and he has a lot of appliances inside the house. Like, do you get? So I feel just 1 year test the apartment before paying any other.
It's
Your
still,
landlord, your landlord
but wait, oh,
according to
see,
what I heard, though,
see,
I'm not
ba.
sure if it's in the law. Your landlord is not supposed to increase your rent until you've stayed in that house for 2 years. Yes. Until you've stayed in that house for 2 years, that is when he can even increase the rent, maybe by 50 or 20%. If he decides to stay after the third year, you understand? That is what I heard. I'm not sure if it's the law, if it's not the law, but that's what
The part of Nigeria now, Abuja precisely, is a standard that landlord can just wake up one morning, discuss with agent, put price as so rate. That's why I say greed comes in. When you cannot do something according to the market value, you're not working according to the system. There's a system. So if there's a system that, okay, this is increment of, you cannot see someone that just came in 6 months and you want to start increasing the rent the next year because other people are increasing. No, it's not done like that. That's greed.
It is done.
It's done, but it's not, it's greed.